I'm the only person that's made that connection. And so because I am able to do this, I am able to share these ideas. Not only am I able to come up with these ideas, I'm able to share these ideas on this podcast and in writing. I have a tendency when I get into discussions and on Facebook posts, like I'm in a few groups on Facebook, and when I comment on a post, I tend to write a really long comment. I call it a comment dissertation because it is a really long comment, depending on the topic. And I tend to say a lot of stuff, and people usually, not always, okay? People usually respond with, wow, that's really profound, and that's really poignant, and that really made me think. So what makes me different is, going back to what my point was trying to be, what makes me different is I make connections in my head that not a lot of other people do. And I am able to communicate those connections to the world in such a way that helps other people grow. I'm able to do that. That's what makes me different. That's not the only thing that makes me different, but it's one of the many things that makes me different. And because that makes me different, 4 days a week, I'm thinking about upping it to 5 or 6 days a week, if not full on 7, but 4 days a week, I plug in my microphone, I record podcasts. I don't know how many people actually listen. I see my listen count going up. I don't know how many individuals are actually listening to this. But if I keep working and I keep doing my best and I keep being consistent, I'm going to propel myself forward. And I'm going to fly with the penguins. Fly with the penguins. Meaning I'm going to take the thing that makes me different is going to propel me forward. It's going to not only help me survive, but it is going to help me thrive. And it's not easy. Not gonna lie. It is not easy. It is not easy to take a moment, especially when you're like in a really bad mood, or you're going through a depressive episode, which, thank the gods below, I haven't gone through in a really long time. But it's really hard to sit down and look at what makes me different. Because you sit there and you go, oh, there's nothing that really makes me unique. I used to think that playing ukulele made me unique, and then I found out that it's like apparently a trend, and I went, what the hell? It's a tiny Hawaiian guitar. Also, for a while there, I think it's the trend sort of like tapered off, but for a while there, I had people assuming that I played ukulele because I thought it made me cool. And I was thinking, no, I play ukulele because it keeps me from murdering people. And I didn't want to give like that stereotypical hipster line, oh yeah, well I've been playing ukulele even before it was cool. I didn't want to do that. But that kind of makes me different, I guess. And I'm sure that's going to factor in somehow to how I'm flying with the penguins and surviving and thriving and all that stuff. But finding what makes you different and using that to make a better life. Not only make a living, but to make a better living. That's flying with the penguins. And I could just hear, I've got so many friends that are like these real, conservative people. I know, you fucking snowflake. That's such a snowflake thing to say. You know what? Just because I'm different doesn't mean that I don't have a group of people that thinks like me, And I'm sure they're out there. I'm still trying to find my tribe, man. I know some of my tribe is in my family because I got some crazy-ass family members, and I love them. But that's what I mean when I say fly with the penguins. And again, I'm not gonna pretend like it is necessarily easy. It is not necessarily easy to be honest with yourself about who you are. It is not easy to be realistic with yourself about who you are. It is, because there are those of us who go, well, I am so different than everybody else and I'm so awesome. When the reality is, what you think makes you different really doesn't make you different. And it's so hard when you're in a state of mind where you're just like, oh no, I'm just a piece of shit and I'm not different from anybody. No, you are. You just have to find it. I was talking with a friend of mine the other day, and he is going through a really rough time right now. His story's not mine to tell. Let's just say he's going through a rough time. And so as I was thinking about doing this show and talking about flying with the penguins and what makes you different and all that, I thought about him. And here's the thing that makes him different to me, is he is not afraid to be honest. He is not afraid to be honest with himself and with the world. And he is really good at communicating and articulating that honesty. Sometimes in an offensive / defensive way. It gets a little aggro sometimes. But hey, I'm not judging. I get it comes from a legit place, and that's his right to do it that way. Not gonna lie. But that's what makes him different, is his ability to be honest. And not only to be honest, but to be fair. To be fair and to be open to all people. He doesn't have to agree with people to show them respect and to show them kindness and to show them compassion. And I really hope that he figures that out. That his ability to articulate his personal truth and to balance out opposing ideas and to show kindness and compassion to everyone. I hope one day he figures out how to channel that. Challenge himself to channel that. Ooh, I brought it together. Good job, Becca. Into something that allows him to succeed. Not just to survive, but to thrive. And I think that's an ability that we all have. It's just a matter of whether or not we choose to use it. And there's that all-powerful idea of we have a choice. We do, yes, there are forces outside of our control that are going to fuck up our lives on a daily basis. Do not get me wrong. I know. I may be an optimist, but I'm also a realist. I know things are going to get better, but I also know that things are going to go to hell along the way. If you give the world half a chance, it'll turn to shite. First law of Owen Kennedy. So, the trick is to choose to keep pushing forward so that you can fly with the penguins. And I just said that and I was about to go toodaloo, but then I went, oh crap, yes, maybe I'm winding the show down here, but I still have some other stuff to say. So, if you would like to contact me anywhere on the internet, PurpleBecca923 is what you need to be looking for. That's PURPLEBECCA 923. That's my username on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. With regards to Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, I always follow back unless and until you send me something inappropriate, in which case you will be dealt with accordingly. PurpleBecca923 at gmail.com is the email address, and PurpleBecca923.com is the website. Yay! Uniformity! Before I officially sign off here, I recently started listening to the Christopher Titus podcast. And I've mentioned here in the recent past, I really love Christopher Titus. I've not been like this uber crazy fan for a very long time, but here recently I'm just like all the way with this guy's comedy. And anyways, but so as a result of me just going like, yay, I've got to listen to everything that he's ever done in the history of time. I discovered that he had a podcast, and so I went and I listened to it and I subscribed and I was like, yes. So I highly recommend that you do that. Yes, they get into politics and they get into current events and stuff like that on this show, but I feel like he gives criticism all around to everybody at fault. And I really like the way that he does that. I really like the way that he looks at the world. And so, I just highly recommend that. Nobody's asked me to do that. I'm just saying that because I love it. Because I'm going to post the show and then I'm going to go listen to the episode they just posted today. So, until next time, remember, go out there, create what you deserve. Believe that you deserve it and create it. And then you can, dun, 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 fly with the penguins. And now you know. Toodaloo.